All those in favor, we have news hot off the press. We're talking Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We're talking Hulu, ABC, Disney. We're talking Taylor Frankie Paul. The news is The Bachelorette has been canceled. Devastating blow to two straight white men like you and me.
Provo will not be the same without Bachelorette watch parties in coming months.
Provo is going to be starving for something to do, I'm sure, as Provo always is. No, but for real, there's a very, very interesting situation going on because you have a video that resurfaced from 2023. Resurfaced like pretty much today. And it was from an incident tied to a domestic violence and child abuse case that Taylor Frankie Paul was involved in 2023. And since it's kind of gone viral, you have the network saying, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. So we're going to show this video really quick, just so everyone can get a lay of the land. We're going to try and, in this video, we're going to try and give you the history, how we got to this point, how this relates to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or Mormonism, and give you our take on how things should be approached.
Yeah, look at you. Look. Yeah, look. This is called physical abuse. Yeah. Yeah. See, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do. Holy
I don't give a
Let me go. Stop. Dude, leave me alone. Oh my God. Your daughter is right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Yeah, look at you.
What you just saw at the end there was, so there are 3 chairs thrown, and the last one, according to what I can see, allegedly hit and struck their child. And that's how she got involved in some of these counts that we're about to go through.
That was the original lawsuit. Like, she already faced charges for this, right?
Yes. So this was years ago, and this video is just surfacing, however. No one's seen this video, even though it's from years ago. But there was already some interesting things going on. They canceled the production of Secret Lives, whatever season they're on, because she's involved in a current domestic violence or something adjacent to that allegation. So what happened, these bar stools were thrown, there was a fight, there's a hole in the wall, according to what I could find here, and you have a bunch of different charges that I could find that I'm going to go through here. Count 1 is aggravated assault, which is a 3rd-degree felony. Use of a weapon or force likely to produce death or serious bodily injury. 2, domestic violence in the presence of a child, which is another 3rd-degree felony. Commission of domestic violence in the immediate presence of a minor causing injury. Count 3 is domestic violence in the presence of a child. It's another count of that. 3rd-degree felony again. Commission of domestic violence in the immediate presence of a minor involving a weapon, which would be the chair in this case. And count 4, child abuse, a Class A misdemeanor, which, I mean, total aside, that seems a little low for child abuse, just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not saying in her case. I'm saying child abuse, generally, it's weird that it's a Class A misdemeanor. Anyway, that which is defined as reckless or intentional infliction of physical injury on a minor. And then the 5th count is criminal mischief, which is a Class B misdemeanor, which is intentional damage to property.
But this is all from 2023?
So this is all from that 2023 incident, and she entered into a plea of abeyance. So basically, she just says she pleads guilty, from what I understand, and she says, I'm not going to do anything again. So she would have to be like totally clean until August of this year. So the interesting thing is these new allegations coming out, if they are successful and if she's convicted, they will return all of these charges to her. And
that was a sad video, bro. I didn't like watching that video.
It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. And this brings up this brings up an interesting and honestly quite terrifying fact, in my opinion. what we saw today that caused the cancellation of the Bachelorette and caused all this outrage, it was known.
Yeah.
This isn't new information. We're just able to see it.
Yeah.
I just read you all those counts, all those things that she pled guilty to.
She admitted to, yeah.
And the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives still signed her on and promoted her for 4 seasons. It was going to be 5 seasons.
Yeah.
And the Bachelorette saw this.
And they said, let's make this girl the Bachelorette.
And they said, yes, let's celebrate this individual. And I'm not saying, like, I know that there's people online talking about, like, was this, like, there's some phrase that's, like, retributive or reactionary abuse. So she could have been the victim of abuse and she's returning the favor with abuse.
Sure.
And so I'm not, like, I'm sure this
You're not trying to pick sides.
I'm not picking sides at all.
Dakota.
Yes. I'm sure there's awful things going on. These domestic violence situations are extremely messy and extremely complex. But it's clear to me that we shouldn't be putting these individuals on a show where they're supposed to share their personal details, become extremely public figures, and then just, like, even more subject themselves to public scrutiny.
Well, I think that's one thing where the line is crossed, where we say, let's make this person the ambassador of a world religion.
Yes.
Let's make this person representative of Mormons. Like, I'm down in New Zealand. People find out I'm a member of the church. Oh my gosh, I watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I'm like, okay, like, that's not me. That's not representative of our faith. And so, yeah, you're right. The fact that these Hollywood directors, writers, whatever, they're like, hey, let's marry this individual. We know these things about this person. Let's use them as the person that we're going to put out to the world as a Mormon. And so that's what becomes problematic for me.
I agree with you 100%. And I think that the people in this show, a lot of them, I don't know about all of them, I don't know all the details, but a lot of them, there's lawsuits being thrown around, allegations, there's all this stuff. If true, I think these people need serious help. And some of them need to be punished using the law. Like, that's just what should happen if you're guilty of abuse. But the problem, like you said, I think these people are in some ways victims, and I think in some ways they're using a world faith to build their own personal brands.
Yeah,
but
a world faith that they don't believe in.
A world faith, yeah.
It'd be different if they were like, oh, I believe Mormonism's true, and I have these allegations and these criminal charges, but, like, I'm still, like, it's not like there's no.
Or
Mormons.
I want to be better. I want to follow the moral prescriptions of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
But they don't. They'll say in the show, like, I don't want to do that. I don't think God cares. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do what I want. And so obviously they don't have a serious interest in aligning themselves with what our religious group does. And that's fine. But then don't go and brand yourself as the Mormon people. Because now all these these morning talk shows and all these, like, huge outlets are interviewing these women. And they're like, there's a few clips. I wish I had thought of this, but they're asking these women, like, about Joseph Smith and the history of the church.
Basic tenets.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know. And it's like, okay, why are you the person then? Like, what? You don't believe this. You don't care about it.
You're not even familiar with like, the doctrines and the teachings. Like,
and now
people will say, like, well, some of them grew up in the church and whatever. It's like, it's clear from watching the show, like, they do not have a good understanding of the teachings of the church.
Not even close. And it annoys me too when people are like, okay, well, I see some of it where they're like, I grew up in the church, even though I don't believe it anymore. Like, I'm still a Mormon.
Yeah.
Like,
which is fine if.
It's fine to a degree, but, like, we have more than just, like, identity, because we have a specific ecclesiastical structure that decides you are a member, you are not a member. Yeah. And we're not like an ethnic religion. We are a worldwide, multi-ethnic national religion. Like, a Jewish person can be Jewish ethnically, but not believe in Judaism.
Yeah.
But we cannot do, like, that's not the same for us. We come from all races.
Yeah.
And it's not just, like, growing up in it that, like, makes you belong to it for life. Like, there's something more to it. But I understand. I do get when people say,
I think there's just different, like, there's different senses. There's difference between being like, hey, this is my culture, this is where I'm from. Like, think about, like, you're a Catholic. You're a Catholic through and through. You're the biggest Notre Dame fan ever. You haven't been to Mass in 60 years, but like that's your community is Catholics. But if someone comes to you, if Good Morning America is like, hey, we want to interview someone about Catholicism, we heard you're the guy, you would be like, no, I'm not the guy. I'm not the Catholic guy.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge jump between being out, you're at the bar and someone's like, oh my gosh, when did you leave the Mormon church? And you're like, I didn't leave the Mormon church. Like, what are you talking about? I might not be doing all the teachings right now, but like, I have no ill will towards my community. Great. That's fine. But if that person in the bar, if someone overhears that conversation, do you say you're Mormon? Like, Joe Rogan's looking to interview a Mormon. It's like, well, yeah, I might not be the best representative of this religion because it is a religion. It's not simply a community. And like the beliefs are what make a religion a religion.
And so if Hulu were to go to these women and say, hey, I want to make a whole documentary about your scandal, we're going to call it just The Secret Lives of Wives. No one would watch it.
Secret Lives of American Wives.
Yeah, no one would watch it.
Yeah.
They need to put the word Mormon in there because it's what sells.
Yeah.
And at that point, you are appropriating a world religion to get clicks, to get money, and potentially to be building your personal brand. These women have seen massive success.
Yeah.
Financially, in their careers. One of them is on Broadway now.
Yeah.
Just by like using a world religion to gain an audience
And build their platform.
and build your own platform and your own business and your own brand.
Yeah.
So us who dedicate our lives to this, not just like in a fun, like, oh yeah, I'm Mormon, I cheat on my wife, whatever. Us who actually care.
Yeah, we believe in the beliefs.
Yes, we believe and we
religion.
do our best to live the tenets of the faith.
Yeah.
We don't get that same thing. So like, it just doesn't make sense to me that people who obviously have no desire to do what we think Christ asks us to do and to believe the things that are central to the beliefs of our church, why do they get the label? Why do they get the interviews? Why do they get the ability to change church PR and the perception of the church on a whim?
Yeah.
We will never do, as long as you and I sit here at this table, we will never impact world PR of the church as much as these women have.
You never know.
You never know. That's true. You never know. We could get
They
viral.
could. Someone did reach out and they said they wanted to make the real lives of just Mormon, just 20-year-olds.
Mormon guys.
Yeah, Mormon guys. So yeah, and you can say what you want about this whole identification thing. Bottom line is, worldwide, there's 18 million Mormons on earth now. And many of them are deeply troubled and deeply offended by the commandeering of their faith as a buzzword, as a engagement bait, and blaming misconduct on this religion that these women don't adhere to. And, I've been in all over the world, especially in the South Pacific, in Fiji, in Vanuatu, in different countries, and members of my same faith have voiced to me their discontent with, I'm very bothered by this Secret Lives of Mormon Wives show. I am a Mormon wife in Vanuatu. I'm a Mormon wife in Fiji. I'm a Mormon wife all over the world. And my neighbors are asking me about adultery, about infidelity, about all of these things that are not representative of who I am. So you can say what you want about like your opinion on it. It doesn't change the fact that millions of Mormon wives are deeply offended by the use of their faith in this way.
Hulu, Disney, same company, same parent company. Hulu/Disney does not care.
No.
They don't care at all.
Not at all.
They've pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into producing content that portrays members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in a negative or culty or violent or exclusive or greedy way.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They literally don't care. And it makes me feel bad. Like I to some degree, I think a lot of these women are to blame. I think that they're using and appropriating a religion for their own brands, like we just said. But I also think they are being appropriated. I think they are being used by
100%.
Hulu, Disney to make money.
Yeah, which could be said of a lot of like reality TV. It's like, they're kind of the butt of the joke usually. But yeah, you're 100%. It's like
So yes, Hulu is also one of the big platforms that's putting The Bachelor on. I don't know if ABC, I think ABC might be owned by Hulu or something, but I want you to look at how they were advertising. Go to this next little page here. Look at how they were advertising this season of The Bachelorette. Look at this.
Yeah. The Book of Mormon.
That is, could you imagine if this was a former Buddhist and she went on and was, I don't know, maybe like making a word play with their sacred text.
Oh yeah, or
about the Buddha or something.
If it was our Bachelorette's the secret life of Muslim lives, whatever, and then it's some version of the Quran that has some pun.
And look, I get it. This is like a callback to some like esoteric, or maybe it is, I don't know. There's some esoteric like girls' camp song that says like Morreman.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I literally don't. I think that is stupid
I do care
too.
about that. I think that's I blame every woman who's ever participated in that.
Yeah, no, that song is awful.
Never knew about that. It's a girls' camp song, like some weird girls' camp song. I don't know what happens at girls' camp. Never been, but it's some weird song. I promise you, I don't think whoever developed this graphic even knew that existed. I don't think it's a callback.
Yeah, I doubt it as well.
I think that's just how people are justifying it. But yeah, I was with some youth and I heard that song for the first time, and some people there like were non-members, and I was like, do you guys hear how you're making me want to leave the church right now listening to this song. Like, we as members of the church need to take responsibility for that. Whoever obviously never authorized, but whoever spread that around is
and that's the thing.
Weird.
You're not going to find it
It's
anywhere.
a weird song.
Like, you're not going to find it in like some book. You're not going to find it in the
It's like the equivalent of like a Boy Scout skit. Like at Scout camp, we would do skits. You like perform skits that are supposed to be funny. It's like if one of those had something to do with like the church, and maybe like looking back on it, it's like, it probably wasn't a good joke. It's not like some important standardized thing.
Go to the next one. They did it again. So this wasn't the only thing.
Oh, these ones?
No, not these. This next one here. Yep. So it says, if you don't fit the mold,
this is
break
AI,
it.
first off.
Yeah, for AI slop. It pisses me off so bad. I think I commented. I said, I'm so sick of AI slop. That was like more annoying to me than anything else.
We got the Stanley, the Crocs. Yeah, mom.
She's breaking out of the mold of being a mom, because being a mom doesn't fit her. I think it's kind of the idea that you're supposed to get here. Or
I mean, some people would argue that being a mom might not fit her, depending on the allegations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly.
Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, if true, I don't think it's controversial that if
it is true,
a perpetrator of
trying
child
to be
abuse,
charitable, but yeah, you're right.
And a couple outlets have reported that the Child and Family Services is getting involved now after these most recent 2026 allegations. And they're not just allegations. From what I understand, it's actually being taken to court. So it's a mutual accusation. I think they're both accusing each other of some kind of domestic violence. So this leads me into...
I wonder if ABC's going to help out her legal team, bro.
So that's another thing. Everyone should be aware. ABC/Hulu, whoever's in charge of this specific project, they hired a extremely, from what I understand, an extremely powerful and savvy
Tenured.
crisis PR management group. And I think it's wise to just consider that what we're seeing from them is going to be advised and rehearsed from these people, from this firm, from this person, whoever it is. So that I can't emphasize enough how much we need to hold, or how much I want to hold Hulu, Disney, ABC accountable for this type of behavior, because I think it needs to stop. Yeah. And it's not just Hulu, Disney, it's Netflix, it's everyone is making content about the church. In 2023, way before you and I ever started this channel, we sat in a fair conference, and there was a speech about a talk about the use of the church in media. And you are extremely more likely to make your money back on a show or a movie if it's about the church. And it's not like about the church in like, oh, let's make a movie about a missionary.
Yeah,
no.
like a historical.
Yes, it's
No.
portraying us in negative lights, reaffirming stereotypes, and just honestly being extremely bigoted and reckless towards members of the church. And I'm crashing out this whole video, but I'm like riled up. I've been riled up about this all day.
For years. Well, then we've all been. I mean, that's the thing. It's obviously no one wishes this on Taylor or her family. And it doesn't make us look any better because all of the news, it still has the word Mormon attached to it. So it's like, this isn't a win for anyone. But yeah, it just brings back to the surface a lot. I mean, people have felt this way for a very long time. People in the community that these women are supposedly representing have been extremely upset about this for years now. And it's just all coming back to the surface.
And okay, so I want to move into this next. I want everyone to come away with this. If you want to understand what I'm saying, I don't know how to do it, but I want change. I want to see a difference in the way Latter-day Saints are portrayed in the media because I'm really tired of it. I'm like really, really tired of not just letting us speak for ourselves and not just showing who we are. Yeah. Like, you'll see movies all the time where there's a person who's a Catholic. Daredevil, the show Daredevil, he's a Catholic. That's a cool part of his personality. It's not a weird culty thing. It's not a negative thing. It's not something he's trying to break out of. That's a part of his character. Why don't we see that with Latter-day Saints?
Yeah.
When have we ever seen a character who is a Latter-day Saint who is unapologetic and normal, and it's not a defect of their character that they're a Latter-day Saint?
No, we haven't had one of those since Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11's the last time. The two brothers. It's the only time we've been done.
When was Ocean's 11?
2011.
2001, the year I was born. The year I was born was when we had the dope Mormon getaway drivers in Ocean's 11.
So I'm going to show you. I have a bunch of clips prepared. I found how Hulu/Disney, I don't know if ABC is involved or not. There might be their own thing. I found a ton of clips of how Hulu Disney portrays other world religions, and we're going to compare it to how they portray the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So this first clip is how they portray Buddhism it was a documentary that was done by
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
Cool.
You look at Jalou and you see an ordinary American boy. He plays soccer, he likes video games, but you sense something more, something much deeper. He's been graced by a power, some energy that traces back through centuries of Tibetan Buddhist tradition.
Full disclosure, I called this guy the Bizzler, the Buddha Shrizzler. I want everyone to know that I'm deeply sorry that I didn't make that comment sooner because it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
And the Tibetan monks are the dopest people of all
awesome.
time. If you look up pictures of Tibetan monks, they are dripped out. And not just in their robes like that kid was wearing. They have the sickest Jordans. Like, they love Jordans. Tibetan monks, for some reason, love Jordans. So, just cool.
That's cool. Keep going.
Yeah.
It gives him a maturity that is far beyond his years. He's only 9 years old. And he didn't ask for this. But he's willingly carrying that energy into his future.
Cool. Now, let's go to the next one. This is how Disney Hulu portrays Judaism. They had a show called, what was it? We're the Lucky Ones. We Were the Lucky Ones, and it's about a Jewish family in the Holocaust. These are the actors. I think they're pretty well known. They're from something. I don't know who they are, but they're both Jewish, and here's them talking about how they got to portray their ancestors in this movie.
And I hope you guys watch it.
I think what's kind of interesting is you have a personal connection to the story, right?
I mean, we're both Jewish, and we're both playing Jewish people, which is always like, it's really special, and you don't get to do that all the time. Like, the best part about our jobs is that we get to play all different kinds of people, and a lot of those people we have nothing on a surface level in common with that you could see or understand, but this really hit close to home because we're very proud of our heritage. We're very proud to be who we are. And
imagine, I can't even imagine a context in which a Mormon has been cast to represent Mormonism.
No.
And then to talk about
It would never happen.
Like, imagine if when they made that American Primeval show about Brigham Young, you know, like trying to make Brigham Young and all the Mormons seem like murderers on Netflix. Like, imagine if instead it was historical, first of all, because like their own historians, quote from there, the Netflix historian said, "This is not an accurate history of anything." That's quote. "This is not an accurate history of anything." Look it up. And then imagine if it was historical, it was representative, and then you had Mormons playing our pioneer ancestors, and then we could go on the Kelly Clarkson show and be like, "Wow, that was awesome." You know what I mean? It's like that's a world that like the number of steps of like
It is
impossibilities. Yeah, you can't even imagine it.
No one that these production companies will not do that. They only make content if it is subversive or if it is damaging or if it is sensational in some way about the church or members of the church. It is ridiculous. We're going to see that in a second, but we're going to go here to see Disney Hulu's depiction of Shia Islam.
Much like Christians turn the sadness and suffering of Jesus' death into a celebration that brings their community together, Shia Muslims come together at Ashura to celebrate the values of justice, truth, and peace that they believe Hussein died for. In fact, Shia around the world are spreading the message of Hussein beyond their community, organizing peaceful marches, hoping to bring the world together in a time that is as fractured as Hussein's was.
Okay, cool. Great.
It's crazy. Like, look at it's showing, hey, Muslims, see how it says no to terrorism, no to no racism. Like, Muslims are not represented by these extremist fundamental groups.
Absolutely.
If you go to the Wikipedia page for Islam, it'll talk about the Shia and the Sunni, and it will talk about whatever. But, like, it's not going to be like Islam is an overarching term for the Shia, the Sunni, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and whatever. That's not what it's going to say.
Yeah.
But you go to anything Mormon related, they're like, oh, yeah, like Mormon's kind of this umbrella term about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And it refers to basically anyone that we want to smear.
They'll say it's about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Warren Jeffs and his sex cult. I'm not kidding. Warren Jeffs and his sex cult, and fundamentalist, polygamist Mormons.
And the Lafferty brothers.
And the Lafferty brothers. Yes, literally. I'm not joking. Like, they always paint it like, well, it's really this umbrella term. That's why we had to abandon it. People give us crap for like, you guys were doing the I'm a Mormon campaign. Yeah, we were trying to salvage it.
Yeah.
And good thing we jumped ship.
No kidding.
Because no one will portray this of saying, hey, did you guys know that actually like 99.9% of Mormons are members of this faith that's not polygamous and it's not extremist and they don't murder people? No, it's not going to happen. Instead, they're going to make they're going to make Under the Banner of Heaven, and they're going to say, oh yeah, this is about Mormons. We'll put some Mormon temple rituals in there. We'll do like, and it's like, no, this is a murder committed by someone who had been removed from the church, an extremist. They'd been removed from the church. Or they make their little, I'm on my mission, and people are like, oh, I remember like the week, because like 6 different people, I was like trending on Netflix, 6 different people were like, hey, I just saw that documentary about you guys. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch TV. I'm a missionary. He's like, yeah, that Warren Jeffs feller. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not us, dog.
It's ridiculous. And they go through excellent care to say, look, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
This is what the community does.
Because right now there's people in the comments who are like, no, it is. That is you guys. That is your fault. But they're not going to say that about, go make that same argument about why Al-Qaeda should be the first thing out of our mouths when we talk about Islam. It's not. That's wrong. It's wrong. It's misrepresentative.
It's immoral.
It's inflammatory.
It is immoral to do that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, next, Pentecostal Christianity is the next one that they go through here. Same documentary with Morgan Freeman. This is a group that is like very often just seen as like weird. The people who are just like kind of like, you know, having seizures and dancing, doing all sorts of tongues and stuff. And this is what he had to say about them.
It was quite a powerful experience. I could feel the energy in that space. Normal people suddenly transformed by some power. And then, just as suddenly, return to normal. But Pentecostals believe that they're bringing heaven down to earth. Now, whatever it is,
They didn't put us in this documentary?
No,
Come on. Morgan.
they would never. Anyway, then just go to the last one here. It's from a drama. It's not a documentary. So just so you can see, this is also another Hulu show, how they portray Islam. I think the guy on the right in the show, I haven't seen it. It's called like Rami. Yeah, Rami. I think the guy on the right is some sort of imam or some sort of Muslim leader. So this is how they do it in a scripted television show.
She taught me that Islam is like an orange. Has an outer part and an inner part. If someone only got the rules and rituals, they might think Islam is tough and bitter, like the outside of an orange. But there's an inside, a juicy flesh, the divine intimacy, the spiritual experience. The rind, without the flesh, is bitter and useless. The flesh without the rind would quickly rot. The outer Sharia protects the...
Fantastic, right?
Yeah, that's
extremely compelling, nuanced, beautiful description of Islam and their rules that people consider to be oppressive or whatever. And next, we're going to compare this. I have some clips of how Hulu/Disney portrays the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So go to this next one. This is a clip this from Girls Camp podcast, and you're going to see why in a second. So...
Macy, you're a little bit different than the typical Mormon. Men get the priesthood when they're 12 years old in the church, and women don't. You know, the priesthood should be the ultimate decision maker for things in the house, but I'm not going to be an asshole and make decisions for it. I'm not trying to be toxic and try and take things that aren't mine.
It feels like he's saying...
stop right here.
I'm not going to use...
Sorry, we love you, Haley. We're not going to listen to you right now. Go click the comments and go to the top comment. So there should be a pinned comment. Yep, Macy. So this is the girl on the show whose husband was speaking. Will you read that for us?
I mentioned this on your TikTok post already, but this was producer-led. Jacob's first time interviewing and being influenced by production to say things to be a team player. If this was his real thought process, he wouldn't be married. I have never once in our marriage ever heard him say anything about having the final say because he's the priesthood holder. Is that his wife?
That's his wife.
Oh my god.
Who's on the show.
Wow.
So let's go back. The other time, this same production company was making documentaries about Islam or Judaism. Where were the producers? Why weren't they going, oh, actually, you guys are terrorists?
Yeah, actually...
You should say that you like to be a terrorist.
No. Your line was, the rind of the orange is that women have no rights and they're lesser. That's what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say that's the bad part.
Yeah. Or you go to the Judaism example and you're like, oh, no, hold on. Be a team player here. Agree with the anti-Jewish sentiment. Yeah. Just to be a team player, just to make some good content. Be a team player.
Jeez.
Bad. Hulu, Disney, like Mormons are a huge portion of your subscriber base, especially Disney. Fix it. Like I don't know, like if you know anyone in Hulu or Disney, anyone watching this, or if anyone has any idea on how we can get this to stop, please let us know. Please comment.
That's why I don't have Hulu or Disney Plus. I just have Crunchyroll. And Crunchyroll, if you guys don't know, that's the Japanese subscription service for Japanese anime.
And I'm sure there's zero anti-Mormonism on there.
Well, we want to know what's in there about Mormonism. You're gonna crash out.
Oh, is it not good?
No, it's good. I'm saying you're gonna be crashing out. How jealous you are. But look at this. Look at this in the anime.
Whoa! Oh, what?
Yeah, in the show Restaurant to Another World, they show the home of the gods, and it's just the Salt Lake Temple. Okay.
All right, so, Disney, Hulu. Anyways. You need to learn something from our Japanese brothers in Christ. Okay. Yeah, so ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous.
It's funny that, I don't know what Haley said in the second half of that clip, but it's funny that, like, the irony of latching on and being like, see, this is what it's really like in Mormonism. And then it's like, oh no, they just made us say that.
Ridiculous. Okay. And then this one, you're going to love this one. You were just crashing out about this. So this is a documentary called Daughters of the Cult, who are two people who like escaped an FLDS polygamous fundamentalist group, and they're making a documentary. I think they already released it. Hulu did.
Our father was the leader of a Mormon religious cult. He used us and groomed us to kill for him. This is when I found out that I was born and raised in a cult.
Daughters of the Cult, now streaming.
Theme of this episode, Hulu does not care.
No.
Disney does not care. They are exploiting a world religion
Yeah.
to make money and views and damaging our reputation. Like, people are dealing with real life consequences because of this. And they're also exploiting women who need help in this Secret Lives show. It is awful.
It is awful. The one thing to understand, I don't know if it's going to make you feel better or worse, but like, this isn't a new thing. Like, this has been going on for like over a century now. Like, if you read newspapers from the 20th century and you read, like, you look at the political cartoons about Mormonism, the things that people would say, they see all of these people coming in from Scandinavia and wherever else to move to Utah, these recently converted members of the church, and the things that the newspaper would make up about these groups to like try to rationalize how, and like the racialization of Mormons.
Yeah.
Like, that's really what the word Mormon originates from. It was originally Mormonite, and then it becomes Mormon because we have the Book of Mormon. And they're trying to understand these respectable white Americans, why are they doing this thing? Why are they following this religion? And the way that they rationalized it and they justified the persecution of Mormons is they said they must be racially regressing. They must be transforming into an inferior race, a sub-white race. And you see the phraseology as early as the 1830s, 1840s of the Mormon race. And Mormon is not just a religion, it's a race. And that's how and you see like all of this bunk science about like the structure of the face and like whatever. You can see the Mormons, like they're turning into Arabs, like
which persists, by the way, with the Mormon face allegations.
You're right. But it's like the ways the predecessors of Disney and Hulu, these prominent newspapers, prominent media outlets, have used like bigotry and sensationalized like takes on us for decades and decades. And this view of us as this inferior people, this inferior race, like as early as 1838, Hans Mill Massacre, you have Missourians killing Mormons, and there was a 10-year-old boy there named Sargis Smith, and one of the Missourians, his name was William Reynolds, holds his rifle to the back of this 10-year-old kid's head, blows his head off, point blank. And when asked about this, like, why did you do that to this 10-year-old kid? He said, nits will make lice. If he would have lived, he would have become a Mormon. So as early as 1838, you have like Mormon is this other group, that we cannot have amongst us. And that guy, William Reynolds, who shot that kid in the back of the head, never faced charges, never served time. And that's been the sentiment, the public sentiment about our faith since then.
That it's okay to just say whatever you want. And
it's not, at least they're not killing us anymore. But and people, whatever, it's not, like, in some ways we take on this challenge of fighting this uphill battle, and we're not here to just like complain about that, but it's not a new thing for media to sensationalize. You have as early as the 1800s these ideas of Mormons having horns and all things you can't even imagine people believing about us. And then you look at today, people are like, oh yeah, Mormons soak, Mormons whatever, like these sensational things that people actually believe them. The same way people actually believed that we had horns. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's getting better, even though this seems really bad. They're not killing our children anymore.
They did.
They did.
Just recently.
You're right.
But it's not legal in Missouri anymore, but I don't want to I don't want to make this connection. but it is.
Oh yeah.
I have to think
there is a connection.
I have to think for a second. What if Hollywood didn't spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year making extremely popular media that depicts members of the church
As
like we're
cultists.
worth killing?
Yeah.
Like, what if that didn't happen? Would we live in a different world where
Yeah.
those worshipers in Grand Blanc didn't get murdered? Would we live in a different world? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. But like,
But there's no way that the dude who shot up that chapel saw the secret lives of Mormon wives and was like, oh, maybe the Mormons aren't all bad.
Yeah, no, no, it's ridiculous. And I want to send you this real quick, and then we'll finish up here with this last clip, because this last clip is the worst of all. But if you are not a member of the church, if you are some kind of Christian, I want you to look at this image real quick. So this is what scholars think is some kind of graffiti, and underneath it in Greek, it says, Alexander worships his God. And on the cross up there is a man with a donkey head. And this is pretty close to the time of Jesus Christ. And it was a mockery that someone drew up on a wall to mock Christianity.
Yeah, this is the earliest depiction we have of Christianity, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, from my understanding, I could be totally wrong. Yeah. But you guys, Christians, you guys have sort of made it out of this phase.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you guys aren't the subject of a new fear-mongering, sensational hit piece or politically, ideologically motivated documentary every week. And it looks like you used to be in the equivalent of
for sure. They were
ancient Rome.
They were very much persecuted.
And I think the media has come a long way in the way they portray Islam. I think there's certainly areas where it could improve, but people take care.
Yeah.
I have yet to see an example of someone take actual care while representing our religion besides Ocean's 11.
Which was a great movie.
Which is a fantastic movie. It's so good.
Yeah.
But go to this last video. So this is from Under the Banner of Heaven, the infamous. And I actually had to cut and edit some of this because it contained extremely sacred temple rituals while this voiceover was happening. So
help.
He's got it on mute.
For some reason, all these are muted.
She's a pretender. She's drawn to converts like Diana and Matilda more than real LDS women. I'd call her a
Isn't it
tear.
supposed to be the 70s? She's just dressed like a full-blown
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. It is so bad. And that, like, no one talks like that.
Yeah.
Like, more than real LDS women. Shut up. No one talks like that. It's ridiculous. I'll never forgive Andrew for this, man.
What happens to tares in the end of days, sister?
According to prophets Joseph and Brigham, there are some sins beyond repentance. Some say the only way to forgive a tear is through the doctrine of blood atonement.
I'm sorry. I must have missed that lesson.
It means to cleanse one of their sins by spilling their blood out onto the ground. Brother.
It is a joke. It's a joke. It is the least serious thing ever. Like, I want to talk to whoever
wrote that,
came up with this scene in their head, and I want to look at them, and I want to say, I don't know who you are, but you are a not serious person. That is the worst. That is the worst scene ever produced.
Yeah, but obviously if you think, like, if you don't know anything about the church and you think that, like, blood atonement is something that actually happened, or you think that,
the prophets Joseph and Brigham.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, we blurred it out, but do you think if, they were out, Disney, Hulu were out filming those worship services, in a mosque with
Yeah.
the Shia Muslims, and they said, "Hey, we don't want you to film this. This is something really sacred to us." Well, they've listened. Absolutely,
for sure.
they would have listened.
Yeah.
If the Buddhists were like, "Hey, don't record in our temple.
Yeah.
Don't recreate a temple and expose things that we believe are extremely sacred and
Yeah, don't
safe
film
to us."
in the Dome on the Rock or whatever. Yeah, they
Yeah.
would listen.
They would listen, but they do not care. And it goes back to the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because they're just reckless. Like, you have women who are just in these terrible situations, who are just obviously not good role models, who need help, and they're blasting them all over the world without contemplation for what this does for a faith. And they wouldn't do that for other groups, and they haven't done it for other groups. We just pulled it up. We've seen how they treat others. We've seen how they treat us, and I'm tired of it.
And if someone wants to push back on this joke of blood atonement, whatever, and be like, "No, brother, don't you know in the temple they used to do different things?" Go read Genesis 15, okay? Abraham cuts 3 animals in half. He walks in between them. He says, "Hey, this is how I'm making a promise. I'm showing you that I'll cut myself in half before I'll break this promise." Does he actually cut himself in half? No. Okay, it's Old Testament symbology. Like, you guys need to just think a little bit more.
Pull it together. Pull it together.
But yeah. Anyways,
I've yapped all I possibly can without literally having a full-blown crash out on camera. But
hey, maybe, who knows? Maybe people will see this and for the first time be like, "Wait, are these girls not actually like representative of Mormons? Do Mormons not actually have secret lives? You know, other than giving alms to the poor?" And because that's our secret life. Our secret life. You want to know about the secret lives of the church? It's the humanitarian work, bro.
That no one knows
that no
about.
one knows about. Go fly right now. Book a ticket. Fly somewhere. Fly to a developing country. You will find the church's humanitarian arm, and you won't find production crews. You won't find
You won't find news reports of it.
Yeah, which is good. It's the way it should be. It's the way Jesus told us to do it.
And we do report some of it. Like, it's good. I like the charitable giving reports. It's great. It's fun.
But
we film some of it, but the amount that is unknown to the world is astounding.
But yeah, when people say like that one church guy was asked by 60 Minutes, like, "Why do you keep this stuff secret?" And he was like, "Well, it's not secret. It's sacred.
It's confidential."
No, it's secret. Jesus said, "Do it in secret." That's a quote from Jesus. That's the word Jesus uses. It's fine. We do our humanitarian work in secret. Like, obviously the people we're doing it for know, but it's like, we don't do it for the praise of men. We don't do it for Hulu. But yeah.
Whoever is calling the shots at Disney, Hulu, just
lost.
They need to pull it together. They need to repent, and they need to think about the consequences of the choices they're making, the shows they're funding, and the ideas that they are allowing to manifest in the world. It is ridiculous that anti and ex members of the church get 10 times the representation and alignment in media than active, faithful LDS members who are just trying to live our best lives, trying to follow Christ, trying to be good people. It's ridiculous.
Even Stranger Things. Dustin's girlfriend, she's a nerd. She's super weird. She's like, "My dad won't let me talk to boys." That's better than this. Like, at least we're rooting for her. At least she's like helping them solve the mystery or whatever. Even though it is this caricaturized, it's not like,
I'll take
it's
anything.
fine. That's, we're not saying like, you guys need to make like everything about us like positive. No, it's just like just a little bit of representation.
Or leave us alone. I'm happy if you leave us alone too.
That's true. That's why, dude, you see, I was blown away. We did our March Madness bracket. It just like people joining. I was like inviting all the other creators to join and stuff. There are so many LDS creators. None of us want to be doing this. We all just want to hang out and just do our thing. Let the missionaries do the missionarying. That's what we want to happen. But you guys keep bothering us for years and years and years. And then everyone's like, "Oh, there's like this effort. Like, why are there so many Mormon influencers?" It's because you guys won't leave us alone. Just stop making videos about us. Just let us do our thing. Our missionaries will knock on your door. They can give you the book. It was a great system. We weren't having to argue all the time.
You could slam the door and be left alone by us if you want.
But now we have freaking Josh Benson, like, did you know Brigham Young was a bad guy? Look at my ChatGPT sources. It's like, guys, can we just not do this?
Josh is our boy, though.
Josh is great, but the quality of this is all I'm saying. Let's just we don't find Josh's pastor and make videos about his pastor. That's all I'm saying. We're not. It's I crashed out.
You crashed out. We both crashed out. To wrap things up, I think Latter-day Saints, before you click on a show about us, I'm not saying to just ignore it, but like in my head, if these shows stop performing so financially well, maybe they'll slow down in the future. And I don't think we can really even make a dent because there's so few of us. And the views from these shows are not coming from us. But just be careful. And the best thing you can do is follow the teachings of Jesus Christ and be a good person. That's the best thing you can do to combat these.
That's true.
Because if someone knows you, someone knows who you are, that you're a good person, that you're charitable and loving, and they see this freaking slop on Hulu, they're going to say, Hulu's wrong. Hulu can pound sand if they're an honest and reasonable person. So that's all we can do.
We've lost some battles. We've showed you a few of those battles today where millions of people have seen it and left with a worse impression of the church than they had beforehand. We're winning the war. I promise you right now, we are winning the war. Early estimates, I don't know what the source of this number is, but
it's hearsay.
For some reason, it's hearsay, but for some reason people have it on good authority that we had almost 400,000 baptisms in the year of 2025. And it's not just about baptisms. Like, there's a lot of good things happening. The thing is, sensationalism, let's just put it this way, truth will prevail, right? History, like accurate. I'm not saying that we have that there's not any piece of our history that raises eyebrows. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the things that they put in these shows that are sensational, that are lies, that are completely unfounded, they will pass away.
You were right.
And the truth, the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ, of the restoration of his gospel and of his church and of the priesthood authority on the earth, that's not going anywhere. I'm sorry. It's not washing away. It's not, it's extremely compelling. And at a certain point, our critics and our enemies, they need to play ball. They can't just keep hiding behind the caricatures, the straw mans. Yeah. At a certain point, they're going to have to read the book and engage with it. And they can't just, because once you have a spiritual experience with the Book of Mormon, you don't care what Andrew Garfield said.
Yeah.
Once you feel the Spirit of God changing your life and connecting you, and you're finding this intimate relationship with your Savior, Jesus Christ, and you can look someone in the eyes and say that you know that he lives and that he died for you, you don't care who's the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
So we're winning the war. We've lost some battles. We might lose a few more. We're winning the war.
Amen. Every time you talk with someone, you have the opportunity to potentially subvert a negative view.
Subvert the subversion.
Yeah, subvert the subversion. That's dope. Put that on a shirt and sell it. Anyways, that's all I got. You have anything else?
Well, that was good. Thank you for preparing this. I didn't know what was happening with the Mormon wives, the secret Mormon wives. I didn't know.
Yeah. Like I said, if you have any ideas for what we can do as a people to fix this, let us know in the comments. Also, we're going to start awarding a winner of each comment section for the funniest comment.
Oh, yeah.
So comment something hilarious, and I will award you the winner of the comment section. If this becomes a thing, who knows? Maybe.
Do you have one from the last video?
Hold on.
Got it.
I didn't bestow this person the winner, and it's not like, I don't know if it's intended to be funny, but it is funny. Nathan 2 says, I low-key got my mission call while watching this video.
Hey, that's sick.
It's electric.
That's awesome.
I asked him where he's going.
That's our first ever comment winner on the dangers of dating a Mormon.
Yep. You in the comment section. If this keeps going, if this becomes a thing, maybe the winner of the comment section will get something sick. I don't know. Anything could happen. We haven't even talked about this.
No, we haven't. The winner of the comment section can get like a voucher, and then they can set me up with like some beautiful woman, like if they know one.
You don't need a voucher to do. You can. I would really appreciate it if you would actually just help him out a little bit.
I've been having a hard time.
Anyway, all those in favor, please manifest by subscribing, liking this video, trying to win the funniest comment competition. All those opposed, please manifest by the same sign. We'll catch you later.
Nice. That was good.